Let's start with your education. I told you you had a brilliant academic career.
Well, I had my schooling mostly in New York, school and college, and then I did my, graduation from Hunter College in New York.
What did you study?
Anthropology.
Anthropology?
Yes. And then after that I came to India, came back, and I didn't study any further. I started learning music, and I didn't.
That was, you were about what, 19 then?
Yes, 19.
So your formal talim started when you were 19?
Yes.
Fantastic. Until then you were just singing for pleasure?
Yes, and whenever we used to come to India, my father would see to it that I went to somebody to learn, a few bandeshes or, chota khyal, but not really that sort of talim. It just didn't happen. So after I came to Delhi, and I did my Ganda Band ceremony with Ustad Vilayat Hasan Khan Sahab, I started learning formally.
He was the radio.
He was a Sangeet Salakar for the eastern parts, I think, of the radio. Mm-hmm. Yes, he was attached to the radio as a Sangeet Salakar.
And this was which year?
1957.
Okay. And you had talim with him for how long?
1957-58. At the end of 58, I got married.
Okay.
So I came to Calcutta.
Okay, so 2 years was Vilayat Hasan.
Yes, yes.
Which was, as you said, starting almost from ABC.
Almost from ABC. I started with Rag Behag. He taught me Rag Behag. He started with Ek Tal, Vilambit. It was 12 beats. He preferred 12 beats. And there were mostly 2 avartans of the sthai, 2 avartans in the antara. And each time one had to come back, the wordings would be at the same. It was, absolutely, each time one sang, it had to be the same. And
Bandish was virtually programmed into your head.
Yes, yes. And he sang a lot, because I didn't know anything. He sang a lot, and I used to listen to him and tried to follow. And after 6 months, he said, "Ab tum raste pe aa gayi ho." Then I thought, my God, what was I doing all this time?
So 6 months was what, 3 sessions a week?
Yes, 3 sessions a week. After 6 months, he said, "Ab kuch tumhara samajh mein to aa gaya hoga." And then it just went on. He taught Behag for quite a long time. And then I went on to Yaman. And after Yaman, I learned Multani. And after Multani,
Multani so early in your career?
Yes. He actually explained that Behag has Saga Mapa. Multani also has Saga Mapa, but it's Komal and Tivra that way, but the notes are the same. That's how he explained it to me. See?
Multani has a Behag with Durbal Rishabh there.
It's Komal Rishabh there, but Shuddha Rishabh and Behag.
And both Rishabh and Devar, both are Durbal also.
Yes. That's how he explained it to me. So learn Multani, it's this way. Very scholarly.
He was, of course, a scholar.
Yes, scholar. Yeah, that's
Okay.
how he told me.
So you managed to learn 3 rags in 2 years?
Well, that was 1.5 years, I think. And then one day, he was very enthusiastic. Sometimes I wonder how is it that he took so much interest, because I, was big Ustad. One day he got off from the radio. He didn't have much work there. So he came off at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and he just suddenly came to our house. I was very surprised. Khan sahab, aap aa gaye? Haan, main to aa gaya. Ab chalo, wo Multani sunao. Just imagine, I'm a beginner, and he comes at 3 o'clock and he just wanted to see how I was progressing. Then I sang Multani, and according to him, it was all right, He was so pleased. Are, ye to theek hai? Ab tum hi batao kya sikhoge? I said, before, we were not allowed to say what we wanted to sing or learn. Tum jo bolo. Then I said, Lalit, He said, Lalit, oh ho ho, वो तो है मुश्किल, चलो तुमसे हो जाएगा, because I had heard Lalit of Kesarbai in the record and I liked it so much, so I want to learn Lalit. So he taught me Lalit also. That took some time at the beginning, yes. And then he taught me Desh and Basant.
So he gave you a good rag over.
Yes, yes. By the time I came to Atausin Khan Sahib, I could sing, I could sing for half an hour, 45 minutes. I could give a fairly, simple type of concert. So that much I don't know how he did it, but first 6 months I was hopeless. I couldn't make out what I was expected to do. The thika and everything and all that. But then once I was there, it rapidly had progressed. And he gave a letter to Atausin Khasa. Atausin Khasa was his mama's ladka. Daraspiyaji was his mama, so first cousin. And Atausin Khasa read the letter. He was very reserved and asked me to sing.
What was Atausin Khasa doing then in Calcutta?
He was in Calcutta.
He was settled here? Or?
He was settled here for a long time.
Did he have a job? Or?
No, he had some pupils and he stayed at the Maishadal Rajbari. They were patrons.
Okay, so he was
looked after. He was looked after. He had a very nice room on the garden and everything. He was looked after. And he stayed with his nephew, Nasir Hussain Khan, who was Bande Hussain. He now is in Atroli. He doesn't stay here. But he used to look after Khasab because Khasab didn't see too well. Somebody had to be with him. So after that, after reading the letter, hearing me, Atausin Khasab said, okay.
This was 58?
No, this was actually 1960, I think, because in between he wasn't in Calcutta. He was away. And when he came back, only then I could get him to teach me. And Atausin Khasab, when he first came to teach me, the first day I remember, he started with Desi Todi. And Atausin Khasab had some very baldar tans, very difficult, which I'd never heard before, only in his record. Little did I know how to copy them. But he started with Desi. And he did some tans and said, do this. I said, Khasab, I've never heard such tans. They're so difficult. I don't know what notes they are. He said, you don't worry about all that. You just try to listen and try to reproduce whatever you can. So I concentrated, tried very hard. First time, second time, third time I failed. Fourth time I think, whatever I did, he was slightly pleased. He just wanted to see how much I could, grasp. So that's how it started. And Atausin Khasa was a very, very good teacher also. Very patient. Salat Hussain Khasa was not so patient. He used to get angry once in a while. He was a very good teacher though. But Atausin Khasa never got angry. That's good for me.
No, and at that stage you were very vulnerable, obviously, you were very young then.
Yes. But they treated me just like a child. Salat Hussain Khasa, after the lesson, he showed me a handkerchief, the embroidery done by my daughter. She's like you. All kinds of, like family-like talks. They loved me very much. Then Atausin Khasa taught me, most of the ragas were taught by Atausin Khasa. Most of the ragas.
That was how many years?
From 1960 to 1980, yes. Now, in between he was sick for a while, he used to go home. But then I did my riyaz and all that. And whenever Sharafat Khasab came, in the beginning he didn't stay with us, he stayed with his Mamaji. But he used to come with his Mamaji, and then Khasab would say, Sharafat, ab tum kuch batao. He would just teach one Drut Bandesh or a Tan or some rhythmic pattern or something like that, Later on he started staying with us from 1974, 5, something like that. Maybe 75. And then I could learn much more from him. And then Atausin Khasab told Sharafat Khasab, usko thoda aage badha do. Because he was like his son, जो हमसे नहीं होता, because he couldn't sing too well, तुम ही कर दो. Or he also said,
which year did this start?
Sharafat Khan Sahab used to come regularly, but he stayed with us from 1975. But even before that, whenever he came, he taught me something.
So Sharafat Khan Sahab's talim was short because he died in what, 84?
85, yes. No, but he'd been with us continuously. Right from 1962, I think he'd been coming to Calcutta. And so we saw him every year about 3, 4, 5 times.
He was a charming man once.
He was a very charming person. Behavior, yes, in every way.
And people in Ahmedabad, his old admirers, tell me he was a very
charming person.
No fuss kind of person.
No.
Very simple person.
Oh, he had many good points, really. I mean, it would take me chapters to relate.
Yeah.
Like when he sang on stage, he said, everybody who's sitting with me, the tabla man, sarangi, they're all artists, no big or small. So he respected them so much.
Okay, and now tell me about your talim. Did he take you through a serious stage of studying Drupad also, or did he?
Well, in between he taught me Drupad, in between Kasab taught me Dhamar. He said, these you must know, but not for public performance.
Okay, so this was a part of talim.
Yes, one has to know few Drupads.
Did you ever do complete Nomtomala for Drupad style as he used to do occasionally?
Yes. They taught me, but funnily enough, once I said, can I? Some musicians do sing alap, and then they make the vilambil slightly short and with rhythmic pattern, all that. Then both the Khan said, 1000 Khan and Sharafat Khan, they didn't think that alap suited me.
Okay.
No, because they were used to that, Madana.
And also their Nomtom style was more
aggressive. They didn't think it really suited me that much. So I said, usi ko chodo. So I never really ventured into that anymore.
Okay. So you have never performed Bandishi with Drupad, Dhamar?
No. I concentrated on Khyal.
Just as well. I'm just trying to see how much they insisted on transferring their style to you. And now tell me more about this thing about their masculine style and how you removed this masculinity out of it, and how, and yet the Agra flavor is very much there in your music. Now, at what stage did they become aware of the need to transform that style when you did Ata Hussain Khan Sahab worked on this?
Well, initially when I was learning from Vilayat Hussain Khan Sahab, the question didn't arise that much because I was, trying to learn the basics. But I remember my father when he took me to Khan Sahab, he questioned, one question he put to Khan Sahab was this: my daughter has this type of voice which is not very bold, not very loud. Some ladies have very big voices also, but I was not that type. तो आपका जो स्टाइल है वो तो बहुत क्या कहते हैं उसको, very powerful and all that. Do you think she'd be able to sing not like that, but copy like something of it? Then Khan Sahab said she should sing like herself. Whatever type of voice she has, she should maintain her own style. She doesn't have to sing like a Khan Sahab so boldly. And the same procedure was with Ata Hussain Khan Sahab and with Sharafat Khan Sahab. And
with Sharafat, I think Khan Sahab, maybe the issue wasn't so great because his own style was not all that aggressive.
No, not. वो जो ऊपर का जो वो सब था. But then he said, look, a woman walks differently than a man. So a woman will sing differently. You don't have to be like a man, you're a woman.
Very remarkable.
And they appreciated, the feminine gayaki.
Okay, so this has, Ata Hussain Khan Sahab really was sensitive to this.
Oh yes, once he told me, look, I'm singing like this. He sang some rag I don't remember, with a full voice and like Fayaz Khan Sahab Pukar and all that. Then he said, look, I'm singing like that, but you're not supposed to sing like that. Your voice won't carry like that, your voice will break, it will sound ridiculous. So they gave me
ideas. In your singing, the 4-stroke Agra tans are still very much there. The masculinity is there, but it's so beautifully adapted. Because the 4-stroke is typically Agra.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Bhimang, the tan.
Yes, yes.
And only your Gharana still has tans which are 4-stroke.
Yes.
No other Gharana sings it, and you sing them so beautifully and effortlessly that one almost forgets it's Agra singing at that time, because you associate those 4-stroke, and those 4-stroke tans are really aggressive. They're aggressive.
That, I must say, Sharafat Khan Sahib had helped me a lot. Just each time, they'd sit and do it until it was all right.
Because there's less of the Ekhara tans in your singing. And the 4-stroke tans are so beautiful. When I heard that, I said, my God, what a beautiful adaptation of the 4-stroke tan.
And they're very interesting to hear, aren't they?
Very interesting. It has a liveliness.
Yes, yes.
It has a very explicit
so many
rhythm.
patterns and...
It enables you to do so much with life.
Yes, yes. You can make so many patterns, so many different designs.
You can do everything that I can do with my hands.
Yes, yes.
Which is wonderful.
Yes.
Now, a more general question. Why is it, what is the reason why Bengal is not producing outstanding Khyal musicians at the same rate as Maharashtra is?
Because,
what is your reading of this?
Because I think there were lots of good Dhrupadiyas, but there were not very many Khyaliyas in Bengal. People learned from ustads from the West or from Maharashtra, Bengalis. We don't find any Khyal Gharana in Calcutta or West Bengal.
No, obviously.
That's the reason. I mean, there's no Gharana or Khandan in Bengal of Khyal.
Also, what you're saying is that
after Dhrupad, it was, of course, there's Umayaranjan Banerjee who belongs to Vishnupur Gharana. They were Dhrupadiyas, but he doesn't sing Dhrupad. He sings Khyal very well, but it's not the Dhrupadang Khyal. It's what you call the general style,
And because of who do you think brought Khyal to Bengal? Was it mainly Atav Sen Khan? Because Agra seems to be the dominant influence in Bengal.
No, we had Girija Shankar Chakraborty. He had learned from many ustads, but not in Bengal. From Muzaffar Khan Sahib, and many Khan Sahibs, very well-known Khan Sahibs. And he was a great singer, and he taught, yes, and he produced very successful pupils like Tarapada Babu, like Shukendra Goswami, like Jamini Ganguly, and some others whom
But none of them became nationally famous. I mean, none of them would rank in the...
Well, Tarapada Babu was a very good singer, very good singer.
But none of them reached Bhimsen Joshi or Amir Khan's level on a national scale.
Perhaps not. But Tarapada Babu was rated to be one of the top vocalists of the country, but he was a very proud man and he didn't want to... I don't know what happened, but somehow he was cloistered and...
that was true of so many Bengali musicians of that generation.
Yes, yes.
Of Radhu Babu, it was true of Nikhil Babu also.
Maybe
to an extent.
Maybe that. So I can think of Girisha Shankar Chakraborty.
Or is it because, some people tell me that people who knew Radhu Babu and Nikhil Babu and people like that who were fantastic musicians but didn't get so well known outside.
Could have been Radhu Babu was from a family of lawyers and zamindars. He had that carriage and all that. But Nikhil Babu, I think, was very well known. He was
well known.
Wasn't he?
But not as well known as he should have been. I don't think he promoted himself well enough. Actually, Nikhil Babu became a legend after he died, unfortunately.
I see.
So he didn't live to see all the great success that his place in history he didn't live to see.
In Maharashtra, there is a musician class who are professional musicians, and they devote most of their time learning music and are very hardworking. Whereas in Bengal, it's something like that. Maybe it's a profession also, But they have too many things in mind and diversified and different type of social life.
And they want security.
Yes, and not that sort of, not that simple life that they have in Maharashtra. They just go on learning and practicing and not that sort of thing. The social life.
It's not a temperamental thing. It's not that the Bengali is more emotional and more impulsive as the racial temperament.
Yes, Bengalis are emotional.
So discipline doesn't come so easily to them. Is that a possibility or no?
Well, I wouldn't comment on my own, but being impulsive or emotional, it can produce other good effects also.
Oh yes,
See?
Ali Akbar Khan Sahab,
Yes, yes.
Vilayat Khan Sahab, Ravi Shankar ji.
That spark,
No, they are extremely disciplined presenters of their art, but look at the creativity.
Yes, if you are too disciplined all the time, it becomes stereotyped. So that spark has to be there, but there should be a happy balance.
So what you say is there need to be 1,000 chaotic musicians to produce 3 Ali Akbar Vilayat Khan. Maybe you're right.
Maybe.
You have to
it's
have,
art, it's art after all.
From 1,000, a population of 1,000, you can produce 3.
Yes, and they are really something.
Yeah, so fine. I mean, the distribution remains the same anywhere. Because these are two things that have been bothering me.
Bengalis are very individualistic, that is true. Very individualistic, slightly arrogant and...
Well, for good reason.
Unfortunately, I have not named one Bengali musician.
Like? Vishwadev Chatterjee, yes.
He was a little crazy, but I don't know whether you have heard him or not.
I don't know.
I've not heard his name.
I've heard the name, but I've never heard his name.
He learned from Badal Khan, so exceptional. And also Gyan Goswami, Gyanendra Prasad Goswami. So, yes, but they were of earlier generation.
Gidya Shankar, of course. Vilayat Khan Sahab talks a lot about him.
And he used to sing Thumri very well also. Puravang Thumri. Very well.
He was a fantastic.
Fantastic, yes.
Vilayat Khan Sahab speaks of him with great respect.
Yes.